Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear
Okay,
you.
just okay. So now look on your screen. Do you see any icons, anything at all that show a comment box or anything?
I only see mute, share screen, and hang up.
That's
That's the
weird.
only that's the only things that I see.
There is something there. Mute, share screen, and hang up. Huh? No, no, no. That's not it. That's not it.
So
How about
before,
on the side, right side corner? That's what I have where it says comment and guest chats.
That's it right there.
oh,
Comments.
I,
There's like an icon on the right side,
Yeah,
upper right corner.
the right side of the screen. Yeah, there you go. There's
mm,
some icons on the right. Put your
yeah,
cursor on the screen. And then you'll see like a little.
A little
Yeah,
small box, like a little chat box.
yes.
yeah. Okay,
Now I see it.
so we got 9 people in the house,
Yes.
Wow.
and you're gonna see comments coming up from all the platforms. So you'll be able to see them. And I'm gonna watch this on my phone while I lay down, and I'll be
And
right
relax.
here. So, hey,
Perfect.
I'm happy to have you aboard, and
Thank
happy to
you.
meet you.
Likewise.
Uh,
Thank you for
eh,
having me here.
yes, and
Appreciate it.
I will kill my mic and let you ladies get started. I'm going to put up a little banner here. Okay. All right.
All
Sure.
right.
Have fun. Go as long as you want.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. Hello, everyone. This is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and I am host of Soul Talk, and I'm so proud to be in zoology and coordinating this my podcast, and this is a beautiful podcast that is actually where I started. My first interview that I had in a podcast, it was here in zoology, and I am very proud now to be collaborating with them. And I have a very special invite for me, that it is a very very good friend and someone that I admire tons for her work. She is amazing in her work, that we're going to be talking a little bit more about her. Her name is Brenda Lozano, and she is visiting us from Chicago. And I am in McAllen, Texas, so we're pretty far away right now, but still in United States, both of us. Let me tell you a little bit about who is Brenda. Brenda, she is a holistic healer, Reiki master. She's a BMT that we're going to be asking these questions about. What is BMT and DMT and DMD? And also, she's a crystal healer, and she is also a reflexology. And I have sessions with her, and she is amazing. And not only that, I have seen her channeling, and she was amazing with all that. Brenda, thank you for being here with us. I really appreciate that you accept my invitation so fast, because it
Well,
was everything was. This is our first time in zoology, so we're trying to organize everything so like that everything runs. And this is my first time in zoology, and I just told her, "Hey, you want to jump in?" And she said yes.
yes. Well, I'm glad you have me here, Monica. I'm so excited, and I'm excited to see what's out here, what's going with a story and guide or help, in any way I can. I hope this is an awesome experience. It's my first time being interviewed. I've had an interview before with a university, but that was a whole different, the whole different interview, not like this. But I'm glad you have me, and I'm so happy, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for being here.
Yes,
We
thank you.
appreciate your presence and listening to us. And Brenda, I have so many questions about all this DMT, DMT, DMD, and I know that, and everything is like compacted. Like I am a NLP, and people ask me what is an NLP or BQH or so forth. So let's start from there. How about that?
Okay, can I tell you a little bit of my story? How I got to BMT and DMT and started doing the healing, holistic healing. I
Please.
started when I started doing. We usually have characters that we have to play, being a mother, being a wife, being a sister, being a daughter. So you play all of these roles. So in my life, playing all these roles got to a point where I fell in depression. I had anxiety, which I didn't know I had anxiety. I went through a lot of diabetes, skyrocket at age 32, 33 years old. Insulin dependent also, and a lot of other health issues that I was going through. So even also had suicide thoughts too in there. And that's when I said, okay, God, why am I here? What's going on with me? And okay, my husband has this career, my kids are doing their thing, and what am I here? What's my purpose? Okay, I'm being fulfilling as a wife, I'm being fulfilling as a mother, I'm also fulfilling being as a daughter, doing all these roles. But I didn't realize that I wasn't doing my role as me. Who am I as a person? And I asked God, why do you have me here? Why don't you just take me, take me home? I want to be with you. I don't want to be here. There's no need for me to be in this place. And I was driving. That's the story I tell everybody. I was driving. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just go through the bridge and just, let my life go. There's no need for me here. Everybody's doing their thing. And no one needs me. And in that aspect, at that moment, something came through me. I'm like, and it came to me like, wait a minute. If that happens, and if I do that, I'm going to be worse. What if I don't die and, I'm paralyzed or I'm this? I'm like, oh shit, I can't do that. I don't know if I'm able to cuss, but, and I was like, holy cow, I can't do that. And then the following day, I had an appointment with my thyroid doctor. And I told my daughter, you know what? I don't want to drive. I'm not, because I was in depression. I don't want to go nowhere. Can you take me? And she's like, I'll take you, Mom. I get there and I see a sign, yoga, come and do healings. We do this, we do that. So I took a session there, and that opened my eyes, that healing. And I did the BMT. They helped me. They guide me in helping me release, this training, and release the burden that I had, in which I didn't know I had a burden. I was like in this depression black hole. I don't know if people know been there, but me personally, depression to me, you're in a black hole and you can't get out. You feel heavy, you feel stagnated, you feel it's hard to get out of there. So when I did all this training after that, the teacher tells me, what do you want to do with your life? And I go, I want to do what you did to me. You had me go through all these workshops, you had me through this. I want to heal people what you did to me. I didn't realize I was in this black hole until I got pulled out. Obviously, I had to do my inner work. I had to train myself. I had, but with other spiritual coaches helping me. And at the end, of the whole thing, this was 9 years ago. On and off, I was on and off taking care of my parents, taking care of my family afterwards. And I realized that I wanted to help other people. And that's when I started my healing classes. I started healing my sessions. So whatever thing I learned from my spiritual coach, I grab from here. That's why my name is, I have it as signature healing by signature, signature healing by Brenda, because it's not like, oh, I went to this practice and, this is what I learned from here and this is what I'm going. No, I grabbed something from here, something here, and I made it on my own. And I realized, and I did it on my own because I realized, wait a minute, this helped me. This exercise helped me. This is circulating. And after doing all of that, I was off my insulin. I was able to get out of my depression. I had other issues that I went through, and I was able to heal that. And 2 years ago, I kept on doing my healing myself, doing my inner work, doing my shadow work, doing all that. I come to a point where I break my two arms. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing healing, I'm doing this, but I still had to do more work on myself. And it's part, as a healer, you're also healing yourself and you're also healing others, helping others heal. And I realized that what I do um, as a healer is to help and release people's stagnant energy out, help their take that burden off. Like one day, one my teacher did that to me, help me remove that burden out and to be able to open up.
You know what is the funny part? That I believe that majority of the star seeds or light workers or healers, coaches, whatever we want to name us, we started exactly like that. We go into a deep trauma, we go into a deep change in our life. It can be grief, it can be divorce, loss of job, or whatever it is, or physical illness, like in our cases. And after we heal ourselves, as we go into, I want to learn how to do this to others, because I feel now finally so good that I want others to feel as good as we did,
Yes.
and that's where it starts. Actually, our wanted to learn more, wanted to connect more, wanted to get that guidance that it help others and make us feel so good.
Hmm.
And this is a common pattern that we go into that dark night of the soul, into that depression, and because we feel like we don't belong here.
Yes, we don't.
We're-
Yes, yeah, that's how you feel. um, that's when I decided I need to find myself. It's like, wait a minute. Um, if I was able to go through all that, how many people are not in that boat, in that situation, and they don't know where to get the help or what to do? And that's how I feel. I feel like, wait a minute, we all play those roles, and we're very responsible. A lot of people are so responsible as a mother, as a daughter, and you still can't find that love. And with all these exercises and the stuff that I help and guide, the teaching, the yoga and all that, I realized that I found my inner peace. And when you have that inner peace, because I didn't realize that whatever's outside, the chaos that we have, it's also inside of us. And when you have that peace inside of you and that inner strength and the courage, you're able to have it outside too. And that was a big impact when I found my peace. I'm like, wait a minute, this is awesome. I love this peace. I love this courage. I've been also, Monica's been also working with me with my fears. That I'm like, remember, Monique, when I said, Monica, you got to find your fears? I'm like, I have no fears. I'm strong. I don't need fear. I don't have any fears. And then I'm like, oh, shit, I have all these fears. And I realized I did. We don't realize it until we start focusing in ourselves. And that's the important thing as healing yourself. It's going inside. And that's one of the major, to me, it's very important. When you stop, you don't have to stop focusing on all the characters that we play in this life, but you also need at least have 5 or 10 minutes out of your time and focus on your character, as me, as Brenda. That's very important to do that.
Something that taught Market when he was leaving, it was that two Latinas talk having this conversation, that yes, part of our culture, it is not only what is the gender roles that we have as males and female, it is also in the Latinas that we have to follow certain patterns because those are the programmings that they have put on all of us. That as a mother you have to be in a certain way, as a wife you have to be in a certain way, as a friend, as a sister, we have to be in certain ways, and those are just programs that how we have to be, how we
Hmm.
have to behave, and how to have to address to people, and so on. So,
Hmm.
and trying to understand each one of those programs, that's where it is starts actually our learning in this life, because that's where is our release. And I believe one of the classes that you took, the I don't know, it was the DMT or the DMD, is the one that took, or the BMT,
Okay.
is the
Well,
one
both
that.
are the same thing. It's a different level. Yes, higher consciousness, each one. It's like, I tell everybody, take care of your car. What do you mean your car? Yes, yourself. This is your vehicle, and like we have to have tune-ups in our vehicles, and we don't do that. We don't realize that our car needs to check the oil. Everybody knows that on the cars you have to check the oil, check your tires. Do we that to ourselves? No, we don't. We're so focused as being, for me, for example, in my end, being that daughter. I wanted my mom and dad that acceptance, and I had to be there. My mom was sick, my dad was sick, and it was like, take care of them. You have to be there because that was my program. And my teacher would always tell me, Brenda, is financially your parents fine? Yeah, financially they're fine. Brenda, is your parents, they have help? Yes, they have help. Then what are you doing there? Focus on yourself. I'm like, no, it's because in my mind, I'm the only daughter. Well, I have other siblings, but as a daughter, I have other brothers, but I'm the only daughter. And it was like, you have to take care of your parents. That was my role. And even though they told me, no, your parents are fine, financially they're fine, everything's fine, it's time to take care of yourself. I'm like, no, I got to be there. But it was my whole programming where I had to be there. And they didn't need me. My dad had nurses, he was well taken care of. But me as a daughter, that was my responsibility. And I realized I was wrong. It's my programming, and
Yes,
yeah.
because in fact, I had it different as a Latina. I like the water for chocolate. You're the youngest. You're the one that's gonna stay to take care of us until the end,
Mhm.
and that's a programming. And many people are running in life and do not realize how many programs they're following, that they're limiting them, and they. I'm not saying that being mean to your parents. I'm not
No,
saying
no, we have a responsibility.
but to
Yeah,
certain point, but we forget about our own wants and needs that we want to do, and that's
yeah,
where we can get sick, and that's when we are looking for approval. That's where we're
yes,
looking for not feeling worthy or not feeling good enough,
yes,
because it comes the programming that, oh,
yeah,
I'm not being great, a better daughter or better
yes,
wife or better
mhm,
friend or better
mhm.
sister, whatever it is. But that's
And
where it comes. So this
mhm.
program is how it do affect us and control us at the
Yeah,
same
it
time.
affects us and control us. And me, when I started doing my healing, I had a sibling that passed away, and it took a toll on my family. And I'm like, okay, I'm a healer. I'm gonna go heal my parents, and that was one of my things, trying to heal my mom and dad. But there's times where you just have to accept the situation, and you have to take care of yourself first. And that was very hard, especially on me as a Latina, to do me first. I realized that as a Latina, we don't do ourselves. We're like, we have to take care of others. You have to take care of your parents. You have to take care of your family. You have to take care of everybody, because that's our that's our culture. And if you don't do it, you're a bad mom. You're a bad this. You're a bad that because you didn't do it. And if you do it, then you lose out of life because, I'm like, and go ahead.
But something that you, I don't know, you noticed because, well, we lost our parents now, you and me, because we know
Mhm.
each other. But after they die, you're still looking for that approval, and that's when you start seeing, okay, why I'm looking for approval to who? But because the program continue running, the
Yes, it
program is
does.
still there. And now you're going to be looking for approval from your husband, or you're going to for friends or your kids or your grandkids,
Mhm.
when until we actually realize
Mhm.
that we don't need to look for approval of anyone to be us.
Yes, that's why you have to do
and
your
that's
inner work, Moni. You have to do your
and
inner
that's,
work, to
that's
take care of yourself first.
and that's part of the mission of human beings, to understand that we came to be us, since even before even the parents died.
Yeah,
That it's not about looking for the approval of anyone except
no,
our own.
just our own approval.
And that's
Yes,
where
and
it comes of love, right?
yes, that's when you start taking care of yourself. When you start taking that 5 minutes, and that's why I tell everybody, if you do just 5 minutes, I know we all have all these, like I say characters, because there are characters that we play, all these roles that we play. You put those characters to a side and do yourself at least 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day. You'll see a difference in yourself and your body. I was amazed how, I learned that 5 minutes a day, every day, you take that time for yourself. If it's for breathing exercise, if it's yoga, it's just sitting down or it didn't matter. Just those 5 minutes for yourself, it makes a big impact. And having that habit of taking care of yourself, just 5 minutes, and by the time it's 21 days, you already did a little habit. Okay, well, let me add another 10 minutes, and you'll see the difference in yourself. You'll be more happier, you'll be more peaceful, and because you're working that 5 minutes, like, oh my gosh, my soul is taking time for myself, my body's taking care of myself. It's very important how people don't, it seems so hard to take care of yourself, but if you start with a minute, 5 minutes, and 10 minutes, and you keep adding to it, it makes a difference. It makes a
and
huge difference.
the consistency they're doing it every day. Because even if you take the 5 minutes or the
Yes.
15 minutes a day, but you do it every day,
Mhm.
that's when you start seeing the results.
Mhm.
Or else, yes, you might do it. Okay, this week I do 5 minutes, and maybe the next week I don't want to do it. Like, and you forget about yourself that week, and then later on you wanted to start it again, and you do it one day, but you don't continue doing the rest of the week. So you go back into your own healing process, because those 5 or 15 minutes do it, and you
Uh-huh.
can testify about this. It help
Yeah.
you to heal. Like now
Yes.
you're on insulin. Like for me, I heal myself from lupus. I don't need cortisone anymore. I don't get swollen or flare-ups.
Yes.
But it
No.
was a time that we did to ourselves, right?
Yes. Yeah, like me with my diabetic, I don't take the insulin anymore because I was insulin dependent. I'm off of insulin. I'm off of the pills, and it's like, wow, just by taking care of myself and bringing your mind to yourself. People, I don't know if people know that, where our mind goes, energy follows. So wherever your mind goes, that's where that energy you're putting into, and wanting to put it as, and most of us have our mind outside, and when your mind is so outside, that's when all the chaos happens. So when we bring our mind back to our body, to ourself, that's the big impact. And it's just taking time. Bringing your mind to your body. Those 5 minutes. A lot of people go to the gym, and that is awesome. I tell people, go to the gym. That's awesome. But they're in the gym with the TVs, with the radio, with the music. Where's your mind? It's still outside. So you have to bring your mind back inside of you. If you're gonna go for a jog, keep your mind inside. Bring your energy inside your chest, your our abdomen, or just anywhere to our body. Just bring it back to ourselves, and that's when you bring the energy to yourself.
And something that I teach a lot, and you can testify about this. It is becoming the observer of your own thoughts and
Yes.
emotions, because then you can control it. If
Yes.
not, how you mentioned, who's running the car, who's running
Yes.
the vehicle,
Rico,
it
yes.
is it is going to be your ego instead of
You have
yourself.
you have a choice. You get to choose. You don't let your body or anybody else to come and choose for you. You choose. You know what? I'm in control of my body. I'm in control of myself. But how do we do it, Moni? People don't know how. How? Well, like I said, the 5 minutes, the 10 minutes, the exercise, those 5 minutes bring that
and
energy.
and observing your programming. What do
Yes,
your mind is saying to you?
yes,
Because that's where
yes,
it starts looking for the approval. Because yes, you can say, "Oh, I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna do another 5 minutes, and I'm gonna compete, and I'm gonna be better than the other woman that is, or
no,
man, whatever it is, next to me doing the exercises or the
no,
meditation. I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna do." But that's competition. That is not
yes,
actually doing the inner work. The inner
no,
work is where actually you start observing your emotions and your thoughts, and
yes.
that's where you can control your ego. It's not our enemy, the ego. It is
Oh no, the
actually
ego is good for us. We need the ego. We just need to tell our ego, calm down, because the ego's there to. It's like our safe, or protecting us herself. So
sometimes it's important to tell our ego, you know what, go and take a walk,
yes,
because it is too much in our head. And that's something that it doesn't matter if you're a healer or a coach. We all in the process of healing. We all in
yes.
the process of
We have
healing
the
our.
power, as Latino, or as any culture. We have the power to heal ourselves. Anybody could do that. It's just finding the right tools and the right coaches to help you and guide you to find that healing on yourself, find that peace. And it's all tools. We all have that inside of us to be able to heal ourselves.
But also at the same time understanding that not because we are coaches or healers or whatever denomination we want to put it
Yeah.
ourselves, everybody, we're in I always have said that if we're in this plane, it's because we have something to work in ourselves,
Yes.
and that includes everybody. and everybody has traumas, even the simple trauma of being birthed
Yes.
and plain. That's a trauma. We were in a comfortable, dark, warm inside of our mothers, and then suddenly you're in the cold, light, noise, etc. It is That's a trauma for any single human being. So even a person that tell you I don't have traumas, that is a trauma. Forget about the
That,
rest.
yeah, that's the reason, we are born in this life with this beautiful light that's all around us. And as soon as we're born, we start having like little shadows attaching to our light. And that's what we forget who we came to be here in this life. And, when we start peeling each of those shadows out and those attachments, you start finding your essence, you start finding yourself. And like I said, you have to find those tools or have someone guide you and teach, because I'm not going to sit here, oh, I healed myself, because I didn't. I had other teachers. I had you. I also have Monica as my coach, as my teacher, and I have other coaches too that has helped me. And each person in our lives also are teachers. Our families also teachers. I came to learn that our own family are teachers of us. They'll help us to observe and to heal. What are the triggers in us?
Yes, but everybody with everything, and even your same dog is gonna be a teacher. Everything is at your teacher if we put attention, if we can become the observers, or else
Yes.
we're not gonna learn. Like having patience every time my dog barks,
Mhm.
or having or going to the supermarket and not getting hooked in the drama that it can be in the line, in the same line that when we're paying. It is everything is gonna be your teacher, but the thing is how we react to the problems.
We
That's
have
the
to stay centered.
difference,
You have to
right?
stay centered, and stay grounded, and that's very important. So you
And you
won't go into that drama.
and do the inner work, because it doesn't matter if you have a coach or you don't do it, or you have 10,000 or you don't have any. If you don't do your inner work, it doesn't matter how many books you read, it doesn't matter how many classes or certifications you do,
Correct.
you're not going to advance because you have not done your inner work.
And how do you do your inner work, Moni? How do we do our inner work? We
First
have
of
to
all,
face it. We have to observe and face each of our shadows, and heal those, and understand, where, like you mentioned to me before, debunk them. Okay, I have this fear, and how do I debunk the fear? So it's very important to be observer, like you said. Okay, where this fear coming from? Is it from my childhood? Is it from my past life? That's another thing. A lot of stuff comes from our past life, but we don't realize it, and we bring it into this life. And that's where it's very important. Like you said, we have to do the inner work and debunk our stuff, because if we don't do that, it's hard. And when you do that, you feel lighter.
and the amazing thing is that we don't have to do it alone. And when I'm not saying we don't have to do
No,
it
no.
alone, I'm talking about the entourage of guides that are there to help us. And
Yes.
everybody channels. The thing it is how much attention. When you become the observer of your thoughts and your emotions, you're gonna feel your own guides, and you're gonna hear them, and they're gonna guide you.
Yes, correct.
Like I seen you doing an amazing healing to someone that you were completely channeling in there, and
My
I
first
know,
time channeling.
but it was very very intense because you knew exactly what to do.
Yes.
Your guide knew exactly how to do it, and so
Yes.
forth. And
They
you
did guide me.
surrender to those energies, right? Can
Yes.
you tell us a
I
little bit about that experience? How do you feel when you were channeling?
I just let go for the first time. I usually do a lot of healings. I usually close my eyes when I do healings. I go in and I do a bioscan and check to see, if there's any images or what's going on or what's happening to their physical body. But in particular on this one, she just mentioned to me, I have pain here. So I started doing a lot of pressure points, opening up their back, opening the back with my palms, and something just came in, channeling, and I got out of my, like, I felt like I got out of my body. And all I know, that part was like, to me it seemed like 2 seconds, but it looked like it was more, because when I was observing, I was only observing, and I saw where I just twisted her neck. I was like, wow, but to me it was like a soft neck, and she didn't, she said it was a more of a strong neck thing, and I'm like, okay. But as a channeler, I feel that a lot of our heaviness, a lot of our traumas are, I know for a fact, we carry it in our bodies. Fears, traumas, anything that are all past wounds, we still have it. We have it in our stomach, we have it in our solar plex. We carry a lot of emotions in our stomach, and even in our shoulders and our legs. And that's why I like doing these healings, because it affects our body. All that heaviness, all that trauma, all the stuff that we go through, our body takes a toll, and that's where all the diseases come. And that healing that I did, that particular healing, I, when I went there, I saw the image. I saw the image of some person, and I felt anger, but I also, like I said, I was an observant. I didn't I noticed that it was not my anger; it was someone else's anger, and I was able to release it, by doing pressure points in the stomach and releasing that. And then you came along and you helped me do the healing and to cut the cords, and that is also was a great way of doing, which I love seeing these monsters. And I see monsters are identities that are dark, and but I don't want to see dark because they also need love. I see it as this identity came popped up, and I seen it lots of light and love, and it vanished. But at the same time, I needed Monica's help to cut the cord, because she had this attachment with this person, and it was awesome. It was an awesome healing. First time I experienced that with Monica coming doing a cutting cord on it,
That
and
was, that was a weird one because in the moment I put the crystal in there, it just broke.
it
And I
broke.
was like,
Yes.
yes, and it was like, I stayed with one part and the other part in the other hand. I was like, what just happened?
She had a really strong trauma, which I don't want to go into details with that, but it was a very strong trauma on this person, and I'm glad that we were able to help her and release that, because you're carrying that, the trauma, you having it with you, and you can't live your life, you can't feel that peace and that love because you're carrying that. And that's what I like to transmute all that trauma, garbage and baggages out, and help you be at peace at that moment. You know what I mean? But we still, I help you transmute it, but at the same time, you have to do the inner work. We all have to do the inner work, and that's some of my healings that I do. I like to help in, like, take the dust off, right? Off of your energy field, and for you to keep on working on yourself and healing.
I know that you also took a certification with crystal healing.
The crystal is.
And
Yes, the crystal healings I love, because a lot of those crystals help you remove and transmute the stagnant energy that we have in our bodies. So in my healings, I put the crystals, like I'm pretty sure a lot of people might know and might not know, like tourmaline crystals. I like to use that, osbidian, to release all the negative, release all the stagnant energy. And then I go in with other crystals, like aventurine, is I'm going right here. Other crystals that I use, amethyst, lapazuli, all those crystals that for all the each chakra also amplifies and gives you that energy for each chakra, because each chakra has its own energy. And sometimes they're going slow, they're not working how they should be working. So when I go in with my healing, these crystals will do is amplify the energy of each chakra and help you. And we could also learn from that. Even we could also heal with those crystals with ourselves, when you have a set of beautiful crystals, and you could also help you with your chakras and amplify the energy if you need a little bit of help on your chakras. Most of people know that chakras are vortex energies that guide us, not guide us, but it's connected with all of our body. And when those are not, they're always working, but sometimes they're working too slow or too much. So we have to balance them out. So our body could be also balanced out.
And
And
not only our body, every single aspect of our life.
yes,
It can be your job, it can be your partner, it can be how you present yourself to the world, how
yes,
your
your
creativity,
communication. With
yes,
your throat chakra.
even
Yes,
your sexuality, even your sexuality, everything has to do
yes,
with the chakras. So, and what connection with our own guides and our own source too. Well, it
yes.
is, it is in every single aspect the chakras
Yes.
are involved in
Yes.
there.
That's why I love adding those crystals in my healing sessions for that same reason, because it helps me amplify. Even though I'm also a Reiki master and I'm able to amplify the energy, I'm able to put the energy. I love them to release their heaviness and bring in that beautiful energy from our source, from the heavens or from God, whoever your angels are, right. And so when I do that, I implement the crystals to help me amplify that energy, because a lot of the chakras are closed, and I don't want to say they're closed because they're still working, but not how they should be working. Um the our our chakras.
Yes, and that is very important because the thing is, everybody, it is amazing human being that we are so powerful. We're that being of light that we channel everybody consciously or unconsciously, but everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody have the chakras. Everybody has all these vortices. Everybody can do all these things, and they have all the potential. But the thing is, how much they believe in themselves,
Yeah,
and
it's very.
that where it gets stuck precisely because you don't believe that you're actually channeling. You're just gonna be gaslighting yourself, or
Yes.
you're gonna let other people gaslight you, and you're gonna give them that power
Yes.
because you don't
And
believe
that's
in
where you
yourself.
have that perspective of people. I need the people's um, acceptance in order for me to grow. And you have to believe in yourself so you'll be able to grow without having that expectation from other people.
And that take me back again to the programming because that goes from the childhood when
Yes.
we're as little kids when we start telling our parents, hey, I'm seeing this being and I'm having these conversations, and they start telling us, oh no, that's, you're just inventing things and things like that,
Yes.
and they're gaslighting you. You stop
Yes.
believing in yourself, or
Yeah.
mom, I can heal with my hands. Oh no, you cannot do that. You're not a
Yeah.
doctor. You have to study to become a doctor so you can
No,
heal
but we're all
people.
healers. We're all healers. We all could heal ourselves. We just have to practice. And it's not like, oh, some are born with that gift already, since they're small. And some are not, like me. My grandmother was a healer and she was born with that. She had that gift. When they see me, oh, you're grandmother, you're the granddaughter of Matilde Reina. She was a healer. She was awesome. She was this. I'm like, yes. Oh, so you have the gift. I'm like, no, I went to school. I'm like, I taught myself, but I realized, wait a minute, I do have the gift. It's just that I didn't know how to, open it or work it, but and that's when I realized, wait a minute, we all have it. We all have those gifts. We all have that power to heal, heal yourself and heal others.
But at the same time, we learn it from we learn it too from our ancestors.
Yes.
And sometimes we know how to heal with vegetables or with fruits or with whatever it is or whatever things is growing in our grass, like rosemary, whatever it is,
Yes. Uh-huh.
or we know innate how to do those things, and not necessarily has to be from our ancestors. We have memories from our past lives.
Yes.
When we activate those, when you activate the chakras, you can activate those, and the memory of the DNA, you just get activated, and you know better how what to do and when to do it.
Yes, yes,
What not to do.
yes. One of my healings, usually in Mexico, where I do some of my sessions. Usually, I do almost all my sessions in Mexico. Something tells me, go and get the rosemary, go and get rosemary, lavender, and I have bamboo too. And grab it and put it there in your room, and that's gonna help you. And then I did had a session. Just something came out. Start cleaning her with these herbs. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, and I just started doing it. So yes, you're right. It goes with it.
And you know, something that I discovered more that I was anchoring my gifts.
Hmm.
And sometimes you get the downloads, and it's like, okay, and now what do I do with this information? I don't know what to do. And then the next day or a few hours later, a client comes that needs exactly what the gifts are for, and it's like, and you just know how to do something that you did not know how to do yesterday.
Yes.
But the
So true.
gifts, that's what was marked for me from my guides, that they were actually all these gifts. It was precisely not for me. It was to
Yeah.
help others.
Yes.
Yes, if we don't make if we are making the separation that them
Yes.
and us, because yeah, we live in this duality.
Yes,
That's
I'm a fire element, and something. I had a person. I'm like, I put them, in the, they got in the massage table, and they didn't feel nothing. I'm like, and she was getting a lot of anxiety. I'm like, what do I do? What do I, and something just came. Do a fire healing. I'm like, fire healing. Yes, you can do a fire healing. It's like downloads, like pum, pum, okay, fine. And that's what she needed. She needed a healing with the fire. I'm like, oh, okay, I get this now. But not everybody. Everybody's different. Each session it is different, and I do notice that. And there's people that sometimes they don't feel nothing, but and I also noticed that they don't feel nothing, but a couple of 5 or 6, 7 days after they noticed it, they notice that something changed and there's something there that helped them realize, be a more of a observer of what's going on, and then they come back again like, oh, I want another session. We'll go. That makes me happy, but I don't have that perspective waiting for them to accept that it was good. But up to now, no complaints.
how you have combined, because you're one of the few people that, because I have this problem at the beginning when I started healing, um, and you have the same thing. You're a yoga teacher. Well, I'm even instructor for yoga to people that wanted to become yoga teachers, and also you're doing the healings. How did you combine both of them? That they're going hand by hand, but how do you start combining them? Because you even teach
I
classes about
started
this.
combining. I started doing yoga, and the when you do an introduction where I was going to yoga, I was doing yoga. They do healings first, and that inspired me. And I think, like you said, or answers or something came to me because I haven't even had taken workshops. I haven't even taken anything. I already knew that I wanted to do healing. Something well, like, hey, if the teacher did this, why can't I do that, right? And that's how everything started, me just by observing my teachers and absorbing. Even though I was not a healer yet, I started realizing, like, mom, the teacher did this to me, let me start doing this. So I practiced with my mom and I practiced with my dad. I even have pictures of my dad laying on the floor, and it was coming to me. And then now that you're saying that, I was already channeling without me realizing I was channeling. And it was weird because my mom's like, your grandma used to do that. Your grandma used to do that. I'm like, what? My grandma's different from me. I'm like, I've learned this, mom. No, your grandma did. That's what you're doing. Your grandma was doing. And it just came to me right now that, yeah, you're right. I was already channeling without me realizing, because these ideas was just downloads you said would come to me. And I started doing all that. And I would just, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And it just came to me, and without realizing it until now that you're saying that. So yes, I am a channeler.
We all are, and the thing is, we can do it consciously or we can do it subconsciously.
Yes.
And it is better when you do it consciously, because then you can control it. It's like the creativity and me as an artist and a healer. I've been an artist since I was 6,
Yeah.
and when, like, where the inspiration is coming from. And I believe and truly believe that every single artist, not necessarily only painters,
Uh-huh.
musicians, poets, writers, all of us, all the artists, we are channelers. That
Yes.
inspiration, those muses that we call muses, it
Uh-huh.
comes precisely from channeling.
Okay.
It comes from channeling, and the downloads that every single healer or coach or therapist that
Uh-huh.
they're saying, okay, how I'm gonna help someone. It comes from channeling. That's
Yes.
something that we did not knew how to do it the day before. Now we know how to do it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So true. It is true that by channeling without being aware that those downloads, those ideas, those thoughts come to you, and it's like, oh, do you accept them? Do you recognize them, or do you use them? And a lot of my sessions, I realize that I do that a lot. Like, oh, I have issues with my stomach. Okay, well, let's do these belly button healings. Let's do this. Let's do exercises. I love teaching people that these types of exercise that I teach helps you, with like doing stomach exercise. Well, why are you going to do stomach exercise? Well, we have all these, we have these intestines that are our organs that are huge. We don't work them. Who works our intestines? No one does. You go for a bike ride, you go exercise, you go for a run, but we don't work our stomach. And that's where a lot of our emotions that we hold on. And I realized that a lot of my sessions, that's what I do. I massage their stomach. And we could also massage your stomach. Give you a tool out there. Massage your belly.
And the fears
Yes.
inside in the
That's
stomach.
where we hold our fears. On our solar plex, we hold a lot of our emotions, and the right side of our stomach is where we hold a lot of the fears. So if you can have someone to rub your belly, have them rub your belly because you're also be able to release that. I love working with that. I love working with the stomach, and massage the stomach because that releases a lot of the fears, releases a lot of the emotions, and the breathing. It's very important breathing because when you inhale those breath and you exhale, you also relax in your body. And I love telling people this story. What happens when you're stressed? Your body's like, oh, so you're like this. You're stiff. Your body, without you realizing, your body's so stiff, and gets to a point where your body it breaks down. So, and that's when the diseases comes again. So what happens when you breathe? You inhale and then you exhale, you relax your body. And the more you practice on breathing, doing breathing exercise, and you don't have to do so much, just keep on remembering, and it's again observing. Okay, I feel this tension, let me start inhaling. Sometimes you don't realize you have the tension, and you start until you start breathing. Because I've done that before. Okay, I'm going to do some breathing exercise, and I start doing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so tense without me realizing. And smile. When we smile, our emotions, our body changes right away, our mood changes right away. Even though there's times when you do not want to smile, especially when you're going through a rough time or you're going through stuff, when you smile, it makes a big difference. And even you don't have to smile for anybody, just smile for yourself. And that also makes a big difference. Now you'll notice that when I'm going through some things, I'm smiling, and my daughter's like, "Why are you smiling?" I'm like, "I'm smiling because this is helping me." It's helping me change my mood because I don't want this mood right now that I'm having. But it helps. It helps a lot.
Okay, what is the difference between? I know the DMT. You mentioned that it was done motor. That
Oh,
it is a
Damado is it's martial. It's like a Tai Chi martial arts with Tai Chi. So what that is to accumulate energy. So these exercise, what it does is that if you're tired, and when you do these Damado exercise, martial art exercises, and they're very strong. There's times where I'm lacking of energy. I do not have energy. I start doing Damado. I still start doing martial arts like a Tai Chi, and that you accumulate energy, and all day you have so much energy. You're like, wow. So we're able to accumulate energy. And people are like, I'm fatigued, I'm tired. Well, you know what? Do Damado. Damado is an awesome exercises that I do and I teach, and it gives me the energy that I need for the day. And we're able to be like meditation. A lot of people, they do meditation to carry that, to bring that energy, and they feel awesome, they feel relaxed. Well, this is a exercise for your body to so you'll be feeling lighter after when you do these exercises. They're awesome exercise that I love doing, and it brings the energy. into your body, into your abdomen, into your stomach.
What is the difference with Tai Chi? Because I have done Tai Chi, but I don't know have too much information.
Tai Chi is more how would they're both the same thing, but with Damo Do, it's more of a it's accumulating energy, and my Tai Chi, I'm thinking it's more of a of I think it's the same thing, you know. I've worked, I have not worked so much with Tai Chi. I've worked more with Damo Do, and to me, Damo Do, it's just getting energy, making your body more stronger. You feel more confident because what happens with Damado is that when you bring your mind, you're not just bringing in your Tai Chi, working with the energy. With Damado, you're able to focus on your body. You have to focus where your ankles, your knees, your hips. You have to make sure everything's aligned. The posture, because it's like a martial art posture. And when you stay in those positions a minute, and the more longer you stand, you're accumulating a lot of energy, and you're also releasing. And that's where you get the power. You get the power of strength. You get the power of physically. You get a lot of power in it, and you feel really good. You feel very confident in yourself that, wow, I'm able to do this, and I have this energy. And you have the energy all day, and you could do it one day, 2 days out of the week, and you still have energy for the whole week. I think that's probably the difference from Tai Chi. I'm not, too familiar with Tai Chi, how that works, but with Damudo, people describe it as like Tai Chi. But to me, I feel Damudo is a little bit more different because with Damudo, you have the power, you have the strength, and you have, to me, as to me, I get a lot of confidence in myself when I do the Damudo. I feel strong.
And something that I am reading here in your bio that I have here, the BMT, that is the brain
Brain
management.
management training is how to reprogram your brain, how to reprogram your mindset again. You, like you said, we have all these programs already set, but you get to choose again, to reprogram your brain and choose what's best for yourself. That's what brain management training is.
What should
um,
be the what is I wish I knew more about that, because I am a NLP, a neuro
mhm.
linguistic programmer, that is basically removing the programs and putting other programs, or
Well,
just
BMT, it also comes with exercise. By doing these exercise, you're able to release the stagnant energy by a certain amount of time. Like they have us do sleeping tiger, like you have your legs up for 10, 15 minutes, and you're pushing all that stagnant energy out. So what you're doing is reprogramming your brain to say, you know what, I'm able to push through this. Let me push that, by inhaling and exhaling, releasing the energy out. You're releasing the stagnant energy. And at the same time, you're bringing energy to your body. So that's like reprogramming your brain again.
but
That's
through your own body, right?
your own body,
Through your
yes.
own body, not too much about conversation or going to
No,
therapy.
no. The BMT is working your physically, working your body, releasing what you have in, the stagnant energy that we have in our body by exercising. That's what BMT is. It's like taking care of your vehicle. Smile. They always have us do smiling. Why? Because that also changes our mindset when we're smiling, and that's what BMT. And DMT is becoming more certified as a teacher and teach others to do that, to guide them in those exercises. They're very good. I like doing all that because that gives me the strength and the confidence.
So I just wanted to tell you, to our listeners, that if you have any questions about this, please write it down in the comments, and
Yes, any
so
questions, I can
so like
answer
that
them.
we can
Answer
try to address them.
them. I also do long distance healing sessions too. If anybody would like a long distance session, I could do that also, and see where you at with your chakras too.
Yes, and but well, I wanted to ask you more about. So basically, when you're doing a healing,
Mhm.
you're channeling. Now we agree that in this
Yes,
discussion
I am
you are
channeling.
you're
I'm
channeling.
accepting it. Okay, Monica.
So how do you're doing it? How do you know exactly how to work with a client? I understand that each person it is going to be different, that they're going to have different needs. But how do you know what technique you're going to be using? Because
Oh,
sometimes many of us,
I
some
realize. Okay, I what I do is I check their arms. I check the pressure points with their arms. I work the reflexology on their arms and see where is the stress is going on. Is it in their hands? Is it in their feet? Or is it on their shoulders? Because sometimes we don't realize that we carry a lot of our stress, a lot of our worries in our arms too, and our feet and on their shoulders, especially people that carry. I know that that's the first thing I do. I check the meridian lines. I open all the meridian lines when I start a session, and after opening up all the meridian lines, I do a lot of pressure points all over their hands, and that's where I check if their hands have no like bumps or stuff like that. It's a feeling that I know on their hands. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, they're relaxed. They don't have no pressure. They don't have no pressure points that I need to work on. Okay, they don't carry it in their hands. I'm like, okay, let's see. Let me check their feet. Their feet. There's parts in our feet where they have so much pain. Okay, and well, that's where they're holding. There's a pressure point there that I need to work on for them to release whatever they're holding on to their feet. And there are times where, okay, their hands, they don't have anything. And I'm like, okay, they don't carry anything in their hands. They don't have anything in their feet. Then I go into the shoulder. And that's where a lot of us are carrying the weight of their life or weight of other people, their heaviness. And that's when I go in there and release all that pressure points out of their back and their shoulders, their neck, and also do a lot of acupuncture points on their heads too. So that's what I usually, that's where I first start working on that. And then I close my eyes and I start channeling and see what do I see, if there's any identities or anything or any. Sometimes I have gotten past deceased people that have come and they have messages. Not always. I'm not like, okay, I'm gonna call someone. They just appear, or their guardian angel appears, or their higher self appears. I'm like, okay, there's someone here, and sometimes I do tell them, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I see some really scary stuff. At first, when I first started, it would scare the hell out of me. But with time, I'm like, wait a minute, they're not here to harm me. They're here to, they have something they need a. I need to send them light and love. That's what I do. Send them light and love, and because they're there. They're there for a reason, and if I could send them light and love and have them get transmuted to Mother Earth, back to its origin, and with love and light, and have them heal. And that's part of my healing that I do. And at the end, I do the those singing bowls that helps them also, and that's where I find out also if I did my work. I recheck my work, make sure that with the singing bowl, if it's vibrating, if they're vibrating also the same. So usually I do their hands and their feet and their shoulders to see, because I like to work on their physical body, because that's where we carry a lot of our stuff. And a lot of people up to now, I've done it for 8 9 years, these healing sessions, and I always get the same response. I feel lighter. You took a burden off of my shoulders. I feel much better. So yeah, those are my what I do on my healing sessions.
And for everybody, we are going to be going to Soulfest that I hope everybody goes to Soulfest. That is going to be in December 8, 9, and 10. Buy your tickets now,
Mhm.
and you can experience any of these
Yes,
healings that you hear from Brenda. And,
yes,
uh, and she's going to be there. So go and look for our booth that we're going to be there. And you can experience this, releasing these emotions, releasing this programming,
yes.
and getting our energy too.
Yes. And after all that, then I go in with the Reiki and pure love and pure energy and feel all your emptiness. We remove all that stagnant energy out, and we have to fill it with love and light. So, yes, that's where you feel so awesome afterwards.
So don't forget, it is going to be in December. It is going to be in Houston this year, Soulfest in 2023. It is going to be in Houston, Texas, 8, 9, and 10 of December. So buy your tickets. Don't forget that. So like that, you
Yes,
can spend all
yes, and
the
Monica
year
too. We
there.
have the channeler there. We have also the channeler. Monica is the channeler, and she's awesome. I highly recommend Monica too. She is an awesome channeler. She has helped me a lot too, with a lot of my inner work. Like I said, my fears, which I didn't know I had, and she's an awesome, awesome spiritual coach too. So I highly recommend her too. She's also going to be there.
So it was really my pleasure to have you, Brenda, and to be my first invite for this combination between Soul Talk and Zoology. That that it is really my pleasure to have you and everybody here. Thank you, Ernest.
Yes, everybody. I am very grateful for inviting me and letting me be part of this. And I am so grateful for everyone here with all those hugs. And, if you have any questions or anything, reach out to me or Moni, and we're here to help We're here to help each other out. You're not alone.
As we have here Ernestine, Holly, Caddy. We have Diane Powers, my beautiful sister Donna.
Aw,
That I'm gonna see her very very soon in Corpus, and then of course in Houston in December. Maria Shining, Elizabeth Appledore, Angie Willow, Karen Nicole Walmsley. I hope I'm sorry if I'm massacring your last names.
that's
Not my
okay.
intention. I just my
Aw.
first language is
Thank
Spanish.
you, everyone, for staying and watching our soul talk here in Soulology. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So be prepared for every Friday. I'm gonna be doing this live podcast or interviews with amazing people I already have lined up, amazing healers and coaches from all over the world, and it's gonna be every Friday at 5:30. And this is a combination between zoology and soul talk. So don't miss it every Friday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, because I know we're in different time zones, and but I am in Central Time. That's why I think in this time zone. Thank you, everybody, and
Thank you,
thank you,
everybody.
Brenda.
Lots of love and light for everybody.